Hello, friends. I am Fuzz Martin, and this is 15 Minutes with Fuzz, a show that relishes in the positive things happening in and around Washington County, Wisconsin. This podcast began in July of 2021 as negativity really became the bread and butter of the internet, and all the cynicism and fighting really wasn't gherkin for me. It really became a jarring experience. So instead of getting salty, I put my nose to the Brhinestone and launched this show. And now I get to talk to people who are doing fun and positive things around Washington County, Wisconsin. It's not your Vlasic podcast. As you know, pickleball is becoming a rather big deal, and I'm officially done with the puns now. Lori Prescott joins me this week to talk about the new business that she and her husband are opening very soon in West Bend. It's called Vortex Pickleball Club. With that, here are 15 minutes on the Vortex Pickleball Club with Lori Prescott right here on 15 Minutes with Fuzz. All right, Lori, thank you for coming in. First, let's start by talking a little bit about the sport of pickleball itself. It's been obviously growing in popularity tremendously over the past few years. It seems to be picking up speed and momentum every single year. Why do you think pickleball has become such a popular sport, both here in southeastern Wisconsin and nationally?
Okay, well, thanks for having me, first of all. And
You're welcome.
Good morning, Fuzz. I think it's become or has grown in popularity just because all ages, all skill levels can do this. So even if they haven't played a sport before or have, you can jump right in and you can become fairly good at it right away out of the gate. And so with that, I mean, you need time to improve to become excellent or a pro player, but anyone can pick this up and play with paddles and balls and friends and get going.
Get going right away. I have seen people of all ages, but especially older adults, just cream people. They're just like, this is their thing now. Pickleball has become their identity. Let's talk, how did you get started with pickleball? Where did your passion for this come into play?
Well, so I've always played sports in my past too. Volleyball, took on tennis, then pickleball became tennis's sort of rival with people on the courts and things like, I'm not doing that. And then all of a sudden, like, well, now I'm doing that. Now I'm liking that. It's different. I like it. And so where we began was just playing with our kids. We were on an Arizona vacation trip, and the courts for basketball, which our sons really enjoyed, started being taken over by pickleball courts. And so we're like, hey, let's try this. And so it began. And so that was like 7-8 years ago, and then it went from there.
All right, very good. That's kind of how I started playing as well. As tennis court got turned into a pickleball court, and I saw some people playing, and then my daughter said, hey, we should play that. So I bought a couple paddles, and we watched some YouTube videos and trying to figure it out. So for those who haven't played pickleball, and I know that number of people who haven't is shrinking, but can you give us an overview of the game? How is it played? How many people play it? Those kind of things?
Sure. So usually it's played with doubles or doubles on each side. You can play singles as well, but most popular way is to play with a partner. And what happens is it's kind of like either an enlarged ping pong court or a smaller version of a tennis court,
okay. All right.
so to speak. And so then there's about two sides. There's also a place in the kitchen, or what's called the kitchen. It's close to the net. It's 7 feet off of the net on each side. And if you don't like cooking, that's a great spot for you because you can be in that kitchen or can't be in the kitchen while you play. So,
all right.
So what happens is you serve from the baseline and you serve across court to your partner, or I mean to the other team, and they return serve. It has to bounce on that first return, and then you can play out of the air after that.
Okay.
Most people try to stay out of the kitchen, but really what needs to happen if you are in the kitchen, the ball just has to bounce once before you touch it.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. But it's pretty easy to pick up and learn the rules and get going. And the ball itself is more of a wiffle ball type ball, right?
Sometimes people refer to it as wiffle tennis.
Wiffle tennis? All right. Very
Something
good.
like that, but yes, it is a wiffle ball.
I call it whiffing because I'll just miss completely.
At first.
Do you know how the name pickleball came to be? Where did they get the name?
So you quizzed me on this. So If anyone wants to look it up, there were 3 gentlemen out in Washington State, and they were bored trying to play badminton. Couldn't find the right parts, found some ping pong battles and a wiffle ball and a badminton net, and the sport was born from there. So
Okay.
they just started to play that way in their backyard.
Sure.
I believe one of them's a senator now. So, I mean,
All right.
so it's taken off from them just screwing around in their backyard, it sounds like.
And big pickleball has taken over. So at least they've got a lobby in Congress. There was a person that I knew that worked in advertising, and she quit advertising and started her own pickleball company, like newsletter and marketing stuff. It's crazy how big this has gotten.
Right.
And speaking of that, you're in the process of opening a new club called Vortex Pickleball Club. So what inspired you to say, you know what, I'm going to open a pickleball club?
So, like I said, we've been in the realm of sports before, and that social aspect has been an amazing part of both my husband's and my life. And so as everyone either is aging or experiencing this new sport, we wanted to create a social atmosphere for them as well. And so the space was empty. We saw that Boston store sign for a while, which really bugged my husband to have visibly coming into the city of West Bend. And he wanted to tear it down. And so Vortex was born. And so when we viewed the spot, the posts lined up, how they had that, the space lined up. And so we went from there, and the love of the sport drew us in, and the love of having social activities as well.
Very good. So the new Vortex Pickleball Club will be in the old Boston store building on the backside, right? So behind Dunham's?
Correct. So Dunham's is on the front facing to Paradise Drive, and we are directly behind them in that space.
All right. Very good. Now, obviously kind of a big open store. What kind of renovations have you had to put in, and changes that have you been doing inside that space?
So if you imagine the clinic counters gone, the jeans shelves gone, shoes gone. So yeah, all of the shelving that Boston store had there for their specialty items are now removed. So there was a lot of demo that had to take place. And a building that has been sitting for quite some time needed a little bit of TLC. So the landlords there did help us by putting in a new roof and new HVAC. So the air conditioning and heating will be amazing. First one out of the gate to be using it at Vortex. So that's great. Then we have gone around and made sure, obviously, all the little things, drywall, the bathrooms that were there, they were quite tiny. So we expanded those for having changing space. We've also added private shower rooms or restrooms so that people can shower in those rooms. We'll add lockers. What we've added, or what I've really enjoyed, is adding the overlook lounge. So we had the opportunity to have 7 courts, but we decided on 6 for that social aspect, making an overlook lounge, having places to sit, having places for people to stay and socialize and communicate and look at everybody else playing the sport or watch them while they're in a tournament or otherwise. So we added that. We are having to make it conducive for sightlines. So the front doors, or our front doors, are very bright. So we have to put up window stickers, so to speak, and block that lighting coming in onto one of our show courts so that people can see the ball in their viewing line.
I suppose it's a south-facing wall, right? So lots of sunlight.
Right. And so we've also done things acoustically to add things to the walls so that the sound dampening happens. We are having permanent nets. We are having primetime floors with the premium floors that you would see outdoor, even on a tennis court. And so that bounce is specific to pickleball for the players that are playing it. We have state-of-the-art lighting that we've had to add so that when you look up for a overhead smash kind of thing that you might be doing, you won't get blinded by those lights. And so they will be aligned on every court. And then we also have other things put in place, like I said, acoustically around the building. And most importantly, we're going to be putting in a bar.
All right. Very good.
We are in Wisconsin, and we do love our refreshments. And so that bar will offer many things, beverages, spirits, smoothies, and then we are putting in a kitchenette as well. So that means that social aspect, everybody can bring in meals or snacks to share. It's full access to everybody that's there, community use and things like that.
So you want to have a little pickleball party or those kind of things? You can
corporate event, private event, anything like that as well, or just being there
Perfect.
and getting hungry or thirsty.
I just got an idea for a work event. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We're always looking for stuff for that. So you're going to offer memberships for Vortex Pickleball Club, right? So you'll have memberships. Will people have to be members, or will there be an option to be like a pay per play or things like that as well?
Right. So we'll have all options.
Okay.
Mostly we do want you to be a member there, that social aspect. We want you to be a part of the community there at Vortex. And so, but not everybody might know the sport yet. They might want to just try it out. We don't want to deter anyone from doing that. So, of course, we'll have that drop-in play, the open play, the skills, instructions, the lessons, and et cetera. So, yes, there'll be opportunities for either the one-timer that will turn into an annual member possibly, or, monthly memberships as well, just to say, hey, I just want to try this out for a little while and come aboard. But really what we're hoping for is that annual or VIP membership level.
You get hooked and then you can be a
Right.
Vortex member. And
Right.
Now, with that, I saw that you guys are going to offer 24/7 access. Is that right?
Correct. So
it's going to be like a 24-hour fitness club almost as well, or will you have like a key fob that you scan in?
Right. So your phone will be able to access that. You'll be given a code that way. You can book your courts online as well. So then you're generating that code to get in the doors. Only members will have that option to do so for that 24/7 option. However, if you are signing up only as an early bird or a night owl, that would be part of a simpler membership that we are offering as well. So if you're going off to work and you want to play at 6 a.m. or you're getting off work late and you want to play at 10 p.m., you have that availability to do so as well.
Awesome. So I assume you'll have some security measures in place for the 24/7, like cameras and all that stuff, right?
Correct. So yes, we will, for the safety of everyone coming through the parking lot, especially late at night, and for the club itself and anyone that's in it.
So is your goal to have pickleball tournaments and teams or leagues, I guess? Is it going to have pickleball league?
Yep. So all of the above. So we will have what I mentioned before, the open play. We will have instruction. We will have what it has either been called permanent court time in some realms, otherwise leagues, tournaments, social mixers. And like I said, private events or corporate events, mandatory fun days for anybody in the business realm that wants to come and play for the day.
Perfect. How do you see Vortex Pickleball Club impacting the local community here in West Bend or broader Washington County area?
I think it'll bring people that haven't normally met each other together. And like I said, we're just trying to make it that social situation where everybody's your friend in the community, or tourism, bring other communities in and have that shared experience with them. I've been getting messaged or called from people that are playing out in Mequon, Cedarburg, Germantown, Menominee Falls, Oconomowoc, Lake Country, etc. So they're super excited as well. And that's really great to see, because then it grows the camaraderie, the socializing, the playing at everybody else's space. And maybe there can be some interleague going on, something like that between clubs even. So.
Sure. There was recently in the village of Kewaskum, we had a pickleball clinic, and that was just packed with people. They came from all around just to learn how to play the game or learn some new tips and those kind of things. And people, again, love it. So obviously, great idea opening a pickleball club. Can you share some of maybe your personal stories or experiences that you've had with pickleball or the community of pickleball that have kind of made you love the sport more?
So with that, like I said, when I was playing volleyball, you play at certain levels and things like that as well, or tennis, and pickleball, I'm sure will be that as well. However, with the openness that pickleball can draw in, like what you said, anyone can play, your 80-year-old grandmother, your 15-year-old son, everybody can play, and then become a part of this pickleball family, so to speak. And that's what I've seen. Like if it hasn't, like maybe that's your sport is volleyball. Maybe tennis is your sport. Maybe soccer, basketball. But when it's pickleball, it seems like it's everybody's sport. So that's what's so fun to see.
Yeah.
Like everyone enjoy it.
Yes. It's kind of, it's a great sport for all around. What kind of community events or programs do you see having at Vortex Pickleball?
So Fuzz, as you may know, my day job is Family Promise of Washington County, a homeless organization in the area. And so we are always working off of donations and things like that. So myself would be interested in having a pickleball tournament for Family Promise and raising funds that way. But I've also been approached by other civic groups and other nonprofit groups that want to raise funds and have a pickleball tournament. I know there's one for Alzheimer's. The Senior Center has asked, the Rotary Club has asked, et cetera. And then furthermore, corporate events, those mandatory fund days that I was joking about.
Yes.
However, West Bend Mutual Insurance has already reached out to have 2 different events for 2 different groups that they have at their business. And then Delta Defense is in our backyard. And I know they participate in mandatory fund days, so they'll be there as well. And you just mentioned that you're going to have a work party there.
So Epic, we do a thing called, it's called guest meetings, which is get Epic's, and I'll just say stuff together, which is our quarterly meeting. So we'll have a mandatory fun event, and then we'll go through our financials and all the, things that are going on at the company. So we're always looking for a place to do these kind of things. And, we've done bowling, we've done, hikes, we've done nonprofit kind of events, and this pickleball will be a great idea. So I'll be passing this along to Lindsay from our team very soon. If somebody has never played the sport, the game of pickleball, and they want to get started, what is the best way to do so?
So we're using an application called Court Reserve, and they can always look at either our website, call us for that information, or book a time on Court Reserve to get that sort of instruction and know exactly when they can do that based on their schedules and when we're open to do so.
Okay.
So that would be the way to do that.
Very good. Your club itself is opening very soon, right? When will that be open?
September.
Okay. And if people want to learn more about Vortex Pickleball Club, what's the best way to learn more information or stay in touch to get some updates on when you're opening?
Sure. So we have our website available to you. So that is www.vortexpickleball.rocks.
Cool.
And then our phone number is 262-5-VORTEX. And the other ways to do that is through social media. So far, it's Facebook and Instagram until we branch out to the others and get those prepared for everybody to reserve. We also have our own personal Vortex app through Court Reserve. So you can go on Google Play or Apple and look up the app and then book and find out more that way as well.
All right. Very good. So again, opening in September, it's vortexpickleball.rocks.
Correct.
That's the URL. And that's a very fun, instead of .com is so
exactly.
It's so 2002. So vortexpickleball.rocks, also on Facebook and Instagram. First of all, good luck with this. This is a super cool idea that you're bringing to West Bend. You and her husband. What is your husband's name?
Patrick.
Patrick. All right. That you and Patrick are bringing to West Bend. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope this is a huge success.
Well, thanks for having me, Fuzz, and thanks for getting the word out for us.
Absolutely. Thank you again to Lori Prescott of Vortex Pickleball Club for joining me on this week's episode of 15 Minutes with Fuzz. I am very excited for their new business to open, and I can't wait to get out there to play. If you ever have an idea for a guest for this show, send it my way, fuzz@fuzzmartin.com. That is fuzz@fuzzmartin.com. You can also text me or leave me a voicemail at 262-299-FUZZ. That is 262-299-3899. Or use the Suggest a Guest form, fuzz.cc/guest. That is fuzz.cc/guest. See, so many ways to get in touch. New episodes coming on Tuesdays, all available at fuzzmartin.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or whichever app you prefer to listen to podcasts in. Next week, I'm joined by Buck Blodgett of the Love is Greater Than Hate Project for some updates on their organization, and I'll talk to you then, right here on 15 Minutes with Fuzz.